we are now going to get 6 of those. And I really don't know if I'm excited about that. Well, actually I can tell you I'm not excited about that. I'm not really excited about the 6 sprint races because I definitely think that the sprint race format needs to be readdressed. I don't think that the priority should have been to add more sprint races. I think priority should have been to revisit the format of the sprint races. That is what I think. I think they should have took a seat back and looked at it and said, "Hey, do we have a format within the sprint races that is going to lead us to deliver a better product through during the 3-day week course of the race week? Is that what we have? Because right now I don't think we have that. Now I've done a video already on reformatting the sprint, and my idea was this, and I'm gonna try to sum this up real quick so we can get into some of these other details. I said that the sprint race format should really be more uh, tailored toward the worst performing teams or drivers. All right, we got 10 teams on the grid, 20 drivers. Now, whether you say, you know what, the 10 drivers that are doing the worst, or you say, you know what, listen, we're going to take the drivers from the bottom 5 teams and allow them to go into the sprint. One, that's pretty much going to be the teams that are unlikely to get into points on race day or throughout the season. Okay. That allows them to get points. Why? Because points are inviting and points are basically a motivation. So we should get better driving. We should get more intense driving. Now, I know there's the attribute of the fact that, well, these teams are going to incur more costs under the cost cap and cars will get damaged. We're already dealing with that. Only thing is we're dealing with all 20 drivers on the grid with that. So that's really not something that we need to be concerning ourselves with, because that's something that's going to take place regardless if they're going to have the sprint races. And evidently, according to the new delivery of news, we're going to have more sprint races in 2023. So let's focus on getting a better product out of these sprint races, because right now the sprint races are boring as hell. They're boring. I don't care what you say, they're boring. We already know the top teams that perform on race day are going to be the teams that are going to get more points on sprint day. Is that really what we need? No, we don't. We need the sprint race to be an all-out dogfight. That is what we need. That is what we need from the sprint race. We need the sprint race to be a preliminary dogfight leading into the race Sunday. That's what we need. So what I suggest, I propose is this. You take the bottom 5. What's up, Tier 2 new member, Sylvia Kelly? You take the bottom 5 teams out of the 10 teams, whatever drivers those are. They get to go into the sprint race. Okay, now they're going to be dogfighting for points that they typically don't get. But also, you will allow the finishing packing order of the sprint race to determine the packing order for the positions on the grid coming up to the race. So wherever these drivers finish is where they're going to get placed on the 10 grid spots at the back of the grid up to that 10th spot, or up to, really, it would be what? It would be the 11th spot, right? That's what you get. Now, the other top 10 team, top 10 drivers, all right, would go into regular qualifying to qualify for the packing order from 1 to 10. That remains the same. Those drivers don't need to be in the sprint format, all right? We need to put drivers who are not getting points, teams who are not getting points, in a position where they can dog it out, fight for some points, and then that can happen. That would, to me, would be a better sprint format, and we probably get better action out of the sprint versus seeing teams come out of sprint with points that are going to go back into the next race Sunday and get more points. No, at least let's see some more like leverage within the Constructors Championship. Now, I'm not saying that these other teams or drivers are going to get points that are going to equate up to battling for the driver championship. 6 races over the course of what, a 24 race schedule I think we're going to have coming up in 2023. It's like 23 or 24 races. Is not going to yield the ability for them to get driver championship points, but it will yield for maybe a little bit more action in constructor championship points, right? Because that's still not even too much. But overall, the main impact is for us to see a better sprint and really want to watch it. A lot of us don't like watching the sprint races. I'm just saying, I've watched several and it's like, it's cool, but I have more fun watching qualifying and practice than I do the damn sprint races in the way they're formatted. So now it's suspected that the locations could be Bahrain, Imola, Canada, Austria, the Netherlands, and Brazil for the 6 upcoming sprint races coming up in 2023. All right. This year we already had like, I think we got another one coming up in Brazil. But, 6, I don't know what do you think? I think 3 is good enough for me right now if they're gonna leave the format like it is. If you're gonna have the format like it is, I don't want to see more than 3 sprint races, really. If you're gonna take it up to 6, then there needs to be some readdressing of the way these sprints are gonna be carried out. Now, also, Ben, President Ben, you dirty, downright greedy person. Now, it was said or reported to some degree that Ben blocked this notion or this proposal of 6 sprint races due to finances. He wanted to know what kind of money is coming into the governing body, and if that could not be determined, he blocked it. It said or reported that that is the case. Whether that is really, really factually true or not, I'm inclined to believe that because money circles around these sprints, right? If you can come as an organization and go out to vendors and people that want to put their name up on things and say, hey, we got the sprint race. If you can't afford a promotional or advertising package for the race Sunday, we have the sprint race coming up, and for a discounted price, you can therefore throw your name in on the boards or on the commercials, or we could do this. There's money to be made in sprint races, which is why I think there's a push to get more sprint races on the schedule versus we're trying to get more sprint races because we're going to give you all a dope product. I don't think that's the deal. I think they want more sprint races because they want to find a way to get more money, more promotional money, more commercials, more this, more of that. So that's my standpoint on sprints, and I'm really not digging it. 6, I like the 3 to me has been just fine. I don't know how you all feel about the 3. What's up, everybody? But the 3 to me has been just fine. So I'm really cool with 3. 6, I'm gonna need them to do something about it. Now, the other thing is this: I think they really need to focus in and start thinking about the yellow flag, safety cars, and pit lane. Okay, because IndyCar has, if they go full yellow on the grid or full yellow on the course, I believe pit lane is closed, and that would stop a lot of the shenanigans. But do we like some of the shenanigans, right? Do we like some of the ability for teams to manipulate opportunity with the pack, depending if it's virtual safety car, decreasing to 40% of the speed and where you are, can you get in for a cheap or free pit stop and how that puts you in position? Do we like that? I mean, I think we've seen in a few instances where maybe the safety car and pit lane being open or full or double yellow and pit lane being open hasn't been the best. Now, me and Bryson had talked about it, and he felt over the course of time that maybe it played itself out. It may be. But I'm thinking that maybe there might be. I would like to see Formula One at least try it, right? Let's try it. Let's try it even for a sprint race. Let's use one of these sprint races to sample out and see closing pit lane under yellow, double yellow, and a full safety car. Pit lane is closed, and let's see how it affects the race. Let's see how it affects the teams. Let's see how drivers perceive it. Let's see how it goes. I don't know. It is race strategy, and race strategy with all types of things could happen with pits and yellows and safety cars and pit lane being closed or open. And I think that might be something they should at least play with to see how it plays out. Hey, honestly, maybe it takes some of that stuff out to where, like, look, Charles got screwed on the safety line, on the pit lane, right? He goes in the pit. Soon as he goes in, boom, it goes green. He's not even out of pit yet. It screws up the strategy. It's a gamble. It's a gamble that I still don't mind if they're going to keep it in place, but I would like to see what would happen and how the race overall would feel for me as a spectator, and even for the teams and the drivers to acclimate to. Pit lane is closed if we're under yellow flags. Like, skip that. You're going to have to run your race strategy based off the pure race, not the ability for you to take advantage depending where you are on the track. And then you get in like Russell. They called the yellow and Russell was right there at the right time and boom, was able to slide in the pit. Not so much for everybody else, depending, right? You still got opportunity, but then if somebody else took a bigger gamble early on in the race where they got in for a pit stop and now the yellow comes out again and now everybody else, it kind of canceled it out. So it almost leads me to think, why not just close pit lane? Why not just close it? So I mean, I'm not opposed to what it is right now, but I'm not opposed to seeing what it could be if they change the rules and close pit lane due to safety cars, double yellows, or single. Like, I'm not opposed to it. Um, It could take some things out that actually might make a better product. Maybe, maybe not. I think it's something worthwhile looking into. I think it's something that we as viewers could see. I think it's something that FOM could look into, FIA could look into, and F1 as a whole might take it. I just whatever could get us to better and more not more entertaining, better quality racing, right? Because they've already made a lot of mistakes on the name of more entertainment, right? More entertainment. We've screwed up an entire great 2021 season with more entertainment in the debacle and the scandal that happened there. And it seems like they're looking for more entertainment, except they're not addressing things that could offer better quality racing. Better quality racing needs to be the term. What can we do to offer them better quality racing? What can we do to offer the teams and the drivers more competitive races? That's what needs to be asked. Not more entertaining, more better quality, better challenges in the race. And with those being addressed, I feel like the race will be more entertaining. If it's more challenging and it's better quality, I feel like entertaining will be a byproduct of you addressing real things that need to be addressed. That is how I feel. Hey, I appreciate the big ups to 10K. We gonna just keep rolling it out. Thank you very much. Like, y'all made that happen. I didn't. Y'all made 10K happen. Hopefully we'll accomplish 20K, 50K, 100K, and just keep growing from here. And with growing, I will grow too, and different things will happen. But yeah, I just feel like I wanted to come on and holler at you all about the new, release of this 6 sprint races, potential locations being Bahrain, Imola, Canada, Austria, Netherlands, and Brazil. And how you feel about the money, how you feel about money being a big dictator within a lot of things that listen, I'm going to apologize right now as a U.S. citizen for the actions of Liberty Media have definitely done some ill intent things within Formula One. Not that there already weren't things going on that weren't that great, but I'm just saying that doesn't change the fact that Liberty Media has definitely probably done some things that have not yielded great results and probably are very questionable to people that have integrity like myself and you and others. I think they really need to take a step back. I mean, have you heard some of the things that are going to go on in Vegas? I know what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but the money you spend in Vegas is still going to be the money you're missing when you get home. And some of these packages that they are talking about, I mean, literally, the talks of them allowing a big entity like the MGM Grand to purchase up a gob number of Formula One tickets to then take those tickets and put them into a package that is like $20,000, $10,000. What are we doing? What are we doing? Are you forgetting about the average people that work and love this sport that are barely trying to save up and attend these races? Are you forgetting about them? Is that something that you're just going to do away with? Like, I'm not really on board with all of that. Like there should be some exclusivity, some VIP, some sections where, yeah, if you can afford that check, you can get in here. But there needs to be a very good number of tickets and areas for people who are truly passionate about Formula One, who want to come and experience the smell of brakes, who want to experience the smell of failures, who want to experience the smell of rubber meeting the track, who want to experience what it is to smell a lockup going into a turn, who want to hear the noise of those engines revving, who want to see drivers if they get the opportunity. There should be a larger number or portion of tickets available for us. Yes, I do believe that. I also believe in VIP and sections and all that too. But I just think there needs to be a good balance of that. And if you're allowing somebody like the MGM Grand to purchase up a bunch of tickets to put them into a package of 10 grand or more, that's really taken away from your general public, right? And I think Miami is an example. Many people went to Miami and were able to go general admission and experience the Formula One race at a very nice level. And it was raved about. It was talked positively. I think they need to keep recreating that, right? General admission giving a good positive experience to the point where some people in the grandstand vacated their seats because they felt like general admission was good enough, even though they paid for grandstand. I'm just saying that's also something that needs to happen. And big shout out to Mary Beanie. I see you upgrade. I see people in here upgrading with the Patronus blue badges. Yes, 20K Blue Diva. We going for that 20K, 30K, 40K, 50K. Next thing you know, 100K. We moving on up in the world. So yeah, I'm thinking that a lot of these things need to be addressed. Remember what I said. I told you all this at the beginning of the season when they were talking about Miami. I believe there is going to be a fourth race in the US, and it's going to be northern side. They call it Midwest area, but it's really the north, okay? And I think that's it's going to be somewhere up there. Listen, American like business models are to be on all big coasts. Okay, they already have the East. What's the East? That's Miami. I don't listen. Yeah, it's the South. It's Miami's the East. Texas is the South location with Coda. We have the West with Vegas. The only last one missing is up north. Whether that be, I hope it's not in the New York area because traffic and roads up there suck. It needs to be somewhere like Ohio, you know what I'm saying? Somewhere around that area, Minnesota, Ohio, maybe even Oklahoma, like somewhere in that area. Oklahoma's a little too close to Texas. You probably need to scoot on up. Michigan, somewhere around there is where I think they're going to focus on delivering another Formula One race. If so, it's going to be in that region. So that's definitely going to come. There will be 4 races. I'm predicting there will be 4 races in the US before it's all said and done. And don't quote me on it. I'm saying if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm going to be wrong. Chicago, that could be another area. Chicago could be another area. The Windy City, yes. I think Ohio already has Summit Racing. It already has a good bit of other racing going on. Indianapolis could be another location where that's going to happen because that's race inspired as well when you come to the U.S. So it's going to be somewhere around there. You can bet your bucks on it. It's going to happen. I think it's going to happen. I don't think New York or New Jersey at all. I don't think it's going to happen. Please. I know you say New York and New Jersey, but I don't think New York or New Jersey is going to happen. But it could, right? But it's definitely not going to be a street circuit. Streets up there suck. They suck. So I don't know about that. But although that is one of the like big markets in the US, that's no doubt. New York area is a big market in the US. New York, Los Angeles, Florida, Atlanta, Texas, those are big markets. So I'm not doubting that it could happen. I just really don't prefer it happen. Prefer maybe they go somewhere where they can open up the track, build a nice new track, go from there. That's kind of what I'm going for. Indianapolis, I definitely think. No, you know what? Hey, Central Park. Central Park would be cool. Central Park has some history that maybe they don't want to touch. But yeah, I'm on board for that. I'm on board if something like that could happen in a nice, very scenic way, kind of like Canada. They utilize a park. It's kind of considered a street circuit, but it's really like park area. So maybe they could cross that over. That could be something. But listen, New York laws suck. Like you can't pack there unless you got an extreme like notoriety. You can't, bring in you can't. It's just it could be a logistical nightmare in a way. Big shout out to Silva Kelly. She says, smash that like button, support the channel. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. And she's not lying. I do appreciate everybody for tuning in on this short notice live because I saw the news on the 6 sprint races and wanted to say, hey, how do you all feel about that? How do you feel about 6 sprint races happening with the 3 we already have? But I'm not going to harp on it too long. Understand, this is race week. We are going to be full form. Quality Kickback live Saturday. Post finale lap live on Sunday. Do not forget, the new trailer will launch on the finale lap. For this coming up Sunday, we are going to be starting our first race where it's going to be dedicated to supporting young Carter Joshua Bagambi for his 2023 season. We're focused on getting him more tires so he can burn up more rubber, win another championship going 2023. That is what we're doing. So that will happen. Singapore race, that trailer will run. When you see that trailer, that is when donate proceeds will go towards Joshua Bagambi. We'll start that meter on up. So be on us for that. And I finally get French toast. I'm finally going to get my French toast back. I haven't been eating French toast. I said I wasn't going to eat French toast except for on race Sundays, so I haven't had any. So I'm going to hold off on my French toast because I've been craving it till race Sunday. That's what I'm going to do. All right, so I'm really trying. I'm trying hard. I crave the French toast and the blueberry compote. I'm just trying to tell you, reduce blueberries in that pot, and I put a little brown sugar in there. I don't need the syrup because I got the real natural. Okay, so yes, I'm not gonna get. I almost went blacked out on blueberry French toast. Don't want to do it. I don't want to. Yes, thank you, Blue Diva, for the French toast blueberry French toast emojis. I'm loving my badge, but we need another Euro race. I'm not opposed to that. I'm also not opposed to that. Another Euro race. I'm not opposed to that. You can't be opposed to that. They also re-signed Monaco coming up. I really wasn't in for that. I think they should find another way to put Monaco in, but Monaco is a historically Formula One track. It just doesn't yield for great racing, right? I just think there's another way for them to implement Monaco during a break, like doing a celebratory race where they bring out the nostalgia cars and hit Monaco. And that could be an event that they televise and it will be watched because what Monaco is, I'm just not sure Monaco still belongs in the race season. I know drivers love it because it's Monaco, but do you love it because you have a challenging and you can really drive and pass and overtake? I don't think so. I think if I hooked you up to a lie detector test and asked the driver that question, they would fail miserably if they lied about it. Monaco is not great for racing. It's just great for the experience of Formula One, and it's very historical. Now, don't take that away from it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So listen, hit the like button, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know how you're feeling. I will see you all soon live again. We will have more content dropping. Big shout out to everybody for contributing and supporting the channel to get to 10K, but we got to get off 10K and go to 20K, 30K, and on. And this is just going to keep growing. A lot of things are in the works. I'm going to let you know that right now. I got some things in the work. I'm not playing, but I cannot talk about it because of what's going to go on. So I will see you all soon. Peace, love. I'm out of here.